Milakiapi, Chantewashte Nape, Chuzapi, Aishkian Wachiankapi Deye, Deidre Whiteman Amakiapie, Maniwaka Oyate Himataha.
Deidre Whiteman, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
The National Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition has just released some powerful new data and tools. Tell us about them.
Yes, we just released our digital map. This digital map was years in the making. We collaborated with the National Center of Truth and Reconciliation out of Canada. But previous to that, we didn't have a digital map, but we had a map that was more of a resource for people who would come to our page. But now this map is more interactive and it's able to give you more information and more details if you're looking for a certain and specific school and location.
And you guys continue to grow the number of institutions that fall under this era of American history.
Yes, we do. We recognize that it's going to be ongoing. As you know, in 2020 we just released a map in 2020 with 367 schools, and so right now in 2023 we're at 523 schools. So we know and recognize that this is going to be an ongoing research process.
The lack of data and access to records has helped keep the facts about the boarding school era in the dark. You guys are doing some amazing work changing that.
Yeah, it's very important work. The feedback that I've been getting and receiving from just community members, family members, and friends is that this hasn't been done before, and then to see it on a larger scale, especially with our digital map, it's truly gives you I guess a kind of a glimpse into how these policies that were put into place to put children into these schools and these institutions, it goes to show that there was no link when you see the vast number and then you see it more in a visual scale. And so it's for myself, it's pretty heartbreaking, but it's also makes it I guess I don't want to say inspiring, but it also makes me want to know more about my family's history, especially my grandparents who went to these schools. And it for myself and my family, I know it's part of our healing process. I grew up knowing that my grandpa and my mother's side went to boarding school, and um, I just seen how it affected my family just on my mother's side. And so even as a child, I was 8 years old and I understood what a boarding school was. I understood that it wasn't a good place. It was a place that where my grandpa went and he was changed. That was my concept of boarding school at that time as an 8-year old. And I've seen how it shaped and changed our family. So this project for myself is it's like a healing. It's a healing in of itself. And I just hope that other families are able to navigate through this information and find out more about their family's history as well.
What are the next layers that you hope to put over this map?
A lot of questions have been asked: is how many students were at these schools, what tribes were represented, and that information is really we have to do some. We're only a team in my department. We're only a team of 2, and there's 523 schools that we still have to get more information from. And so our organization is really committed and wants to further find all this additional research, and that's why we are advocating for our bill, our Truth and Healing Commission bill, S1723. So if this commission is passed in legislation, it'll give us access to these records, and it'll give us have a more formal inquiry into the records and more information into these schools.
Is it painful sometimes when you meet the people, the families, the descendants, and the survivors who have been through some of the horrors of the era?
There's only one word to describe it, and for myself, it's very heartbreaking. but it's also fuels my my passion to know more about the history, to continue on with this work. When I have the honor and the privilege to sit down with a survivor, and then I'm able to listen to their story, it just it is heartbreaking, but it also, like I said before, it just really compels me to keep doing the work that we're doing, because it's important. um, it's really important work, and everyone needs to know that this is what happened, and we still have a legacy from these schools that's still happening in our communities to this day. And so this is why we do the work that we do.
Deidre Whiteman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.